Hi there, Brian Rooney. In this video, I just want to explain a wee bit about staking periods and the CRU points that are earned with each staking period, and then a bit of a scenario as what happens when you break your staking contract before the expiry date. So what I've done here is I've done a bit of a spreadsheet that, as you can see, it has the various months down here which we can stake for, from 1, 3, 6, 12, 18 and 24. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you wanted to stake 100,000 of your unblocked CRU. You can see as soon as you enter that, all this changes. So if you invested it for 1 month at 1%, you would get your accrual on the 31st day. If you did it for 3 months, it would accrue on the 31st, the 61st and the 91st day, etc., etc., down to 24 months, where you get 24 separate accruals on basically on the 30th, 31st day, and then the 30 days after every one. So when you put that 100,000 in, you see that if you invested it for 1 month, you would earn 1,000 points, CRU points, for that 1 month. Now these ones here, these figures in green, represent what would happen if after the 30 days, the 1 month is up, you immediately reinvested it for the same period, another 30 days. So basically what this means is that you would have had 24 months at 1%, which means you would earn 24,000 CRU over the period, as opposed to if you invested at 24 months, you would receive 2.5% and you would earn 60,000 CRU, which is quite a big difference. You can see as you stake for a higher number of months, you obviously get rewarded much more because the interest rate is higher. Now you'll see NBAR there, not applicable. That is because all these, the 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, can be reinvested up to 24 months. The 18 month, if you broke that early and reinvested, or even if you just tried to, you can't, 18 doesn't go into 24. So you wouldn't reinvest that. This is all based on what would happen if you reinvested for 24 months. However, having said that, if you did invest for 18 months, you would receive 36,000 bonus CRU. Now, what I want to do now is just give you another scenario. If one of the downfalls, I suppose, is if you invest for a higher period and then for some reason you need some funds urgently, so you have to break a staking contract. For argument's sake, if you put 100,000 on 24 months, obviously you're going to receive 60,000 CRU points. But let's just say halfway through at 12 months, you may say your car blew up and you needed some urgent car repairs, and you might have to withdraw 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, whatever. Car repairs aren't cheap these days. If you break that to receive so you can use some of your points, cash out some of your unblocked CRU, obviously you have to cancel the whole contract. Now what that means is, and I'm not sure 100% what the calculation is that will happen if you do break it. I've heard different theories. One is that it reverts back to 1%, but I don't know for what period. So I'm assuming you would have to break the contract. You would have received, up until whatever time you pulled out on all these days, you would have received your accruals, but then you would have to reinvest at another term. So what has been suggested, and I think Andrew Twelftree, my upline, has already done something along these lines, and I haven't seen his video, but let's just say instead of investing the 100,000 for the total of 24 months, why not break it up into 10 different payments, 10 different stakings of 10,000 each. So you're still going to receive the 2.5% over the period. And if you stake it for 24 months, obviously you're going to receive 6,600 for each different staking. And at the end, you're still going to get the same 60,000 CRU points as interest, as a dividend. However, if you wanted to break, as I said before, say you wanted to get some money out, let's just say you only have to break one of these as opposed to breaking the whole 24,000 contracts. So let's just say after 12 months, you decided to break that. So you'll see this already changes automatically. So you're still going to receive the 2,500, the 2.5% on each of these accrual dates. You would have received those up until the day that you break it. But now the points that you earned for that period are going to drop down to, that's what you would have earned there. You would have earned 3,000 CRU. And because you're withdrawing it, obviously you're not restaking it. So that reduces your total that you would earn, assuming you don't break any of these other separate contracts. It drops down to 57,000. So that's just an idea. And if you break any of these, say you went after 3 months, you needed some money, you got short. If you change any of these, you'll see that these update accordingly. So that's just an idea of what maybe a bit of a variation of this one. Let's go up to the top. A variation of staking for an entire period. But having said that, if you do put it on a higher period and leave it there for the whole 24 months, you do receive a much bigger reward. So that's food for thought. So when you do staking, take into account how much you can afford to stake, and sort of make a commitment that you will stick with the contract with NEW for that entire period, because you will lose out if you break it early. You won't lose what you've already received, but I understand you may lose some points somewhere along the line. I'm not 100% sure. So there was a bit of an update. So if you stake the entire amount over 24 months, you would have got originally 60,000, but because as we have changed these amounts up here, 12, 15 months, 3 months, you can see that the number of calendar days is reduced, an average of 20 months instead of 24. So therefore, you're going to obviously lose quite a lot of tokens here. That's how much you lose. It may be slightly plus or minus this, depending on NEW's calculations, but this is just basically to give you an idea of what you could lose. So I hope that just gives you a wee bit of an idea about staking and the periods and how much you can earn. If anybody wants a copy of this, just contact me and I'll flick you a copy. So there we go. Thanks, guys.